Hello everybody, this is Mr. Robin. Welcome back to another episode of Universe Mode here on WWE 2k22. It has been just over 3 months since we've had the last episode. I am back here on YouTube in case you missed the announcement to continue this series and beyond. But we are building to our next pay-per-view, which is Clash of the Castle. Just 4 shows left, and then we will wrap up with the pay-per-view and then onward into WWE 2k23, which is just right around the corner. But I hope you guys are ready for this one and are back and ready for the series and more uploads. If you are, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. Also, in case you didn't forget, if you want some Rogue Energy, use my code Mr. Rob in the referral link down below and you can get 10% off your purchase. Anything you do for the channel is very beneficial, including just watching this video, so I thank you guys so much for sticking through. But we're starting off with our first match of the night. It is a match in our SmackDown Women's Championship tournament. If you remember, Becky Lynch had to vacate the title shortly after SummerSlam, and we're in the semifinals. Nikki ASH is out here first, and we have to wait for her opponent. Well, look who is back. Another surprise here in the tournament. It is none other than the Queen, Charlotte Flair. She is here tonight, and she is in this tournament. A big draw here for Nikki ASH in the first round as the former SmackDown Women's Champion for the first time since Hell in a Cell back in June. So almost 3 months since the last time we have seen Charlotte Flair in a WWE ring, where she lost in the main event against Ronda Rousey that night. Charlotte Flair is back and she wants the gold once more, as she is here and will be Nikki ASH's opponent in this first round contest. As I don't know if you can prepare for this. The Queen already back in this tournament. You got to think maybe the front runner to win it all and win the championship at Wembley Stadium in Cardiff. As Flair gets ready and finishes up her entrance, so we get ready for this one. A first round matchup in the SmackDown Women's Championship tournament is Nikki ASH versus Charlotte Flair, and we are ready to go in this one. The winner of this one will move on to the semifinals next week here on Friday Night SmackDown before the finals at the aforementioned Premium Live event. We already know on the other side of the brackets, the 2 semifinalists. We saw Io Sky also make a return. So this tournament's been chock full of surprises. She defeated Bayley in the first match of the tournament. And also on that side of the bracket, we saw Asuka knock off Sonya Deville. So that sets up an Io Sky Asuka matchup next week in the semifinals. That one is going to be a banger. And then we have the other set, which is here tonight. Charlotte Flair versus Nikki ASH now. And later on, we will see Alexa Bliss take on Aaliyah in the other last first round matchup. But Charlotte Flair, multi-time Women's Champion, former SmackDown Women's Champion just of this year. Former Royal Rumble winner, a bunch of other things. One of the most accomplished performers, probably the most accomplished women's wrestler in WWE history. So you know she'd love to get back to the mountaintop. This is a big opportunity for Nikki ASH, who's been on quite a hot streak of her own. She's basically campaigned for Alexa Bliss to once again reform their tag team that they had years ago. And it actually was successful. Nikki ASH able to free Alexa Bliss from that dark side we have seen in the past. We saw Bliss revert to her old form at SummerSlam in that 6-woman tag team matchup that her team and Nikki ASH were actually victorious in. So ASH has a lot of momentum going into this matchup. Just actually recently drafted over to Friday Night SmackDown as well. That was shortly after WrestleMania, or excuse me, SummerSlam. If you missed those episodes, I recommend go and check it out and get caught up with everything. Clash of the Castle is only 4 episodes away. So far on the SmackDown side of things, we know the main event will be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the Universal Championship inside a steel cage. Doesn't get more high stakes than that. And then we also know it will be the finals of this matchup. On the Raw side, Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line of that pay-per-view. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley will team up to face Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. That is going to be a big-time contest. And then, as well, a fatal four-way for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley, our champion, will defend against Edge, AJ Styles, and Sheamus. So it's going to be a stacked card already. Only 3 matches, plenty more to go, including who we'll find out in the tournament finals of this one. As right now, ASH in control of Charlotte Flair as both superstars make their way back to their feet. Kick to the midsection there. And Nikki looking pretty good here into this contest. Charlotte Flair, yes, the most accomplished woman in all of WWE history, but yeah, I think she is also subjectable to a ring rust. That's what happens when you haven't competed in almost 3 months. You're going to show a little bit of signs of rust. It doesn't matter how much you've trained. There's something like in-ring action. Nikki ASH has had plenty of that in recent times. Plenty of success in that regards, as well as Charlotte Flair with a big shot. Right on cue, starting to get back into this matchup. And she goes to the outside, maybe thinking a move off of the top turnbuckle here. As Nikki slowly starting to get back to her feet. And Charlotte goes for a big head scissors takedown as she connects. Takes the resident, almost a superhero, off of her feet. And Charlotte Flair, as cocky and as confident as ever, wants to get to that final to win gold once more. As, oh, misses the big boot there. Back elbow strike from Charlotte Flair, who floats over, connects to the big DDT. Down it goes. ASH into the pinfall here. Charlotte Flair trying to move on to the semifinals, but only gets a 1 count. And Charlotte got to do a little more than that. Already thinking. Already going up to the top rope. This time not going to wait for Nikki to get back to her feet. Going to go for the big moonsault and connects. That's a big shot there from Charlotte into the cover quickly. And still only able to get a 1 count as Charlotte. A little bit of frustration on display here for the Queen. And she has put away plenty of competitors with that same moonsault. It's right back to the offense. Right back to that methodical pace. Looking to ground and wear down on her opponent. And Nikki, though, will slide out. Both competitors back to the feet. Ducks the chop shot to the back. And Nikki ASH, what she's setting up here, a neck breaker. Down goes Charlotte. Nikki could be in the driver's seat here. This to move on and score a big upset. Gets 2 and almost 3. But Charlotte does get the left shoulder up. But Nikki has closed the fans firmly behind this superhero. He's now going to go to the top rope, looking to fly. Charlotte, rolls out the way. Misses the big elbow drop. That could come costly for Nikki. As Flair now back to her feet, just with a flurry of chops. And a back elbow strike for good measure. Floats over and connects to the big DDT. Takes down Nikki. And Charlotte Flair right firmly back in control. She's going to look for this figure 8 here. Has it locked in. Now just needs to bridge. And she will do just that. The submission is applied. Nikki ASH too far away from the ropes. What will she do? Trying to fight for dear life here. Will not tap out, but has the damage been done? Charlotte's going to transition into the cover. Gets 1, gets 2, and that'll be it. Charlotte Flair is back, and she is in the semi-finals. Knocks off Nikki ASH here tonight. Charlotte will get to celebrate her victory. Welcome back, Queen. Well, big surprises are on the show. Let's see what else we got in store in this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Next up, we'll see Shanky go one-on-one against Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn takes on Karrion Kross. Both superstars with their eyes on the Intercontinental Championship. The other semifinal matchup, Aaliyah takes on Alexa Bliss. In our main event, gold will be on the line. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, put it up against the Viking Raiders. Kevin Owens gets the big win over Shanky. Karrion Kross knocks off Sami Zayn. As Kross looking very dominant in his return to WWE. And Alexa Bliss will move on to the semifinals, so we know it'll be Bliss versus Charlotte next week. But right now it is time for our main event. Well, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships are about to be decided. As making their way to the ring first, it is the challengers, Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders. And these two exploded back onto the scene last week in our main event of SmackDown 1200. It was a big 6-man tag matchup. The Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and 2 mystery opponents, where the winning team got to decide the stipulation of that Universal Championship matchup. Well, McIntyre, he found 2 friends, and it was these 2 men, the Viking Raiders. Eric and Ivar stepped to the plate. They were in McIntyre's corner, and they were victorious in that matchup, allowed McIntyre to pick that steel cage stipulation. And as a reward, the Viking Raiders have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship opportunity here tonight to claim gold. Eric and Ivar, they look ready for the occasion, but they got to knock off the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions in history. It is Jimmy and Jay. It is, representing the Bloodline, the Usos. Jimmy on your left, Jay on your right. They have been dominant, to say the least. Champions well over a year, shattering all records associated with that title reign. Knocked off teams like the New Day, the Mysterios. Even seen them knock off Kingston and Drew McIntyre. How about what used to be the Brawling Brutes, to name just a few. But this could arguably be their biggest challenge to date. SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line here in our main event, a championship contest on free TV. You'll love to see that if you're a fan. As they go down to the ring for introductions, there are the challengers. Eric on your right, Ivar on your left. And they are the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. As they turn the belts over, get ready to make this one official. This will be the last time the Usos hold those titles. We're about to find out. It is time for our main event. That is the goal. That is the prize. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It'll be Eric starting off for his team. It'll be Jimmy starting off for his. Viking Raiders, Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We are live here in our main event. As quickly Eric on the offensive. Jimmy, though, he does get the boot up. And this is going to be a very interesting contest. Very much, I think, a clash of styles. Just a clash of strengths from both teams. As if you're talking about brute strength, brute power, it is definitely got to be in the favor of the Viking Raiders. I mean, Eric and Ivar are 2 massive individuals who will hit you, and they will hit you hard at all angles. On the other side, you got the Usos, tag team champions, one of the best tag teams in WWE history. Brothers since literally day one, as they like to say. They have the smarts, they have the chemistry. They might not have the power advantage, but they're going to use their brains, use that chemistry to their advantage. Jimmy with a quick tag here to Jay. Jay's going to try to put the pressure immediately on Eric. Just force a kick out. Not trying to put away the challengers just yet, but that kick out does force Eric to have to stay on his toes, to have to keep a little bit of energy in order to kick out. But Eric, though, trying to fight back in this contest, will pick up Jay, and this is where they're going to have the advantage. Nice fall-away slam connects. And that creates the opening for Eric to also make a quick tag to his tag team partner, as here comes Ivar into the ring. Big Viking bearded individual. It's Jay up over on the shoulders, and Jay tries to slip on the backside. He does, and plants Ivar down to the mat. So Viking Raiders, big opportunity here tonight. They've held gold in the past, former NXT Tag Team Champions as well as Raw Tag Team Champions. The Viking Raiders know what it's like to hold gold, but they've never held the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And I know they'd love to change that here tonight and end this historic reign. As Ivar has a hold of Jimmy. But Jimmy will fight out of it. Let's create a little bit more of that separation. Kick to the midsection here, and gets planted. Down it goes Ivar. As the Usos starting to take advantage of this contest, do what they do best, and that is just cut off the legal man from his partner. And just stay on top as well as talk a little bit of trash while they do it. The kings of it learned pretty well from their cousin. He's got the big match of his own. No Roman Reigns here at ringside as well. It's a little interesting to see Roman not out of ringside, but right now, pull up, kick out. Yes, Ivar just kick out quickly. But the Usos going at this one alone. Maybe Roman Reigns, maybe just preparing for his big contest in 8 days. in Cardiff. But he is not out here with the Usos. No Paul Heyman either. So this is pretty straight up. No Solo Sikoa as well. Solo has made his presence known in recent times since joining the Bloodline at SummerSlam as he cost McIntyre the title on that night. But Solo is not at ringside for this one here. He's still nursing that knee injury. So the Usos say, hey, you don't want to put any unnecessary pressure on it. We understand. We got this. A lot of confidence out of the champions, and why would you not be confident when you've been champions for over a year? Is right now just torquing away at that left knee of Ivar. Or Eric, excuse me. He's going to roll through, though, and use the free leg to kick out of it. It's a nice reversal there. Ivar was, though, there, excuse me, to break that one up. Maybe a little bit of rust here on the microphone, I got to say. I mean, it has been over 2 months. Got me some slack, but back to the action. Ivar shot to the midsection. Now starting to isolate Jimmy in his corner. Actually, that is Jay, excuse me, as Jey Uso gets hung up on that top turnbuckle, but quickly realizes the situation, trying to fight out of it. There's Jay. Nice neck breaker there on Eric. It's been a pretty back and forth contest. Two very even teams. It's hard to tell who has the advantage in this contest. You want to say the Usos just because they are the champs, because they've knocked off all challengers. As Ivar now gets back into the fray. A little bit of a mistake there by Jay to allow that tag to happen, but he quickly backs up Ivar into the ropes. And speaking of advantage, it looks like the Usos are starting to get it. As I was trying to say a second ago, I mean, they are the champs. They are knocked off all challengers, but they have not beat the Viking Raiders in quite some time. Nice kick to the chin. But it was the Viking Raiders who were on that victorious team just 1 week ago. So you have to think, does that sit in the back of the mind of the champs? Maybe a little bit of doubt creeping in. Jay gonna look to go, looks like to the top rope here. Ivar in the drop zone. This is not where you want to be. Lined up for a big Uso splash, but Ivar had it scouted, got the knees up. Big turning point in this contest is now Ivar, the big knee that connects. And now just like that, all momentum is switched. The Usos are on the defensive. Jey Uso could be rocked here, but he just avoids that splash. Ivar went for the big splash. Jay able to roll out the way, and now going to try to slow it down here, cut off a little bit of the steam with a nice neck breaker attempt, and wisely that gives him the separation to tag in his fresh brother Jimmy. As Ivar still down in the center of the ring. And Jimmy now with just repeated quick fire strikes to the side of the temple of one half of the challengers. And just like that, the Usos are back in control. Going to re-tag in Jay. Not sure if that's the wisest idea, as Jay was just on the receiving end of a lot of offenses. Now, though, going to try to put them away. Gets a 1, almost a 2 count. Before the challengers are able to kick out. The Usos starting to get into a rhythm here as this one starts to get into the later stages of this contest. We're here back with Friday Night SmackDown in case you're just joining us. Championships on the line. This is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. As Jay gets Ivar back to his feet, roll through. There's the big super kick right on the butt, and that one connected right on the face. And Ivar could be out. Jimmy trying to drag him away from the ropes, trying to get the pinfall here. Gets one, but there is Eric. He is there to break up the pin. And the Usos trying to get rid of him. As Eric actually just going to oblige. Doesn't want to get his team disqualified. But allows the tag to be made. Jay re-enters the contest. You can tell Ivar still rocked after that super kick. Big strike there. Now from behind. Connects with another neck breaker. And Ivar could be in a lot of trouble. Jay once more trying to drag Ivar away from the ropes. It's not been easy. Going to try to shoot the half. Rolls the big man over. Going to try to retain the championships here. Gets 2. But again, Eric into the ring to break up the pin. So if you're the Usos, you got to get rid of Eric here. Yes, you have Ivar right where you want him. But you haven't been able to isolate him. And speaking of Ivar, he just chucks Jimmy Uso out of the way. Gets quickly sent to the apron and hung up on the top. Down it goes Ivar. And Jay, what's he got in mind here? All the way to the floor. It can't be. And he does die with a huge headbutt. Not sure who benefited the most from that one. But you got to go high risk in these championship contests. That's how Jay cannot let off the gas pedal Ducks underneath. Goes for a big DDT, but gets backdrop for his measures. Nice counter there by Ivar. Ref up to a count of 4. Now up to a count of 5. As Ivar, if he wants to win the gold, he has to get it back in the ring. Countouts will not help you in terms of winning the championship. As ref up now to a count of 6. Jay will actually make his way into the ring first and say this one is over. He's actually going to break the count. Very interesting move there by the champs. I don't think Jay has ever been one that's lacked confidence of any sort. Maybe this is why he got him back in the ring. Jay quickly up to the top turnbuckle. Ivar is down. What does Jay have in mind here? Ivar starts to get back up to his feet. And a big double axe handle to the back. Down goes Ivar. Jay, is this enough to retain the championships? Gets 1, gets 2, and no, Ivar still with a little fight left in the tank. He kicks out, but Jay once more going to go to the top rope. This time, is he thinking Usos? Splash he is. The big splash connects. Down goes Ivar, and this one is over. Eric cannot get there in time this time, and the Usos will retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Their reign continues with another big victory. The Viking Raiders took it to the Usos. They just did not have enough to win the gold here tonight. Jimmy and Jay, they get to celebrate another successful title defense as we wrap up this episode of SmackDown. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us, sticking with me, and the support for this series. I cannot wait for Clash at the Castle. Once more, congratulations, Jimmy. Congratulations, Jay, on a successful win. But hold on a second. We're in the back now, and Drew McIntyre has found Roman Reigns, and a brawl has broken up. These two cannot wait till Clash at the Castle to get their hands on each other once more. McIntyre gets taken down there by the champ, and Roman Reigns trying to make a statement, but McIntyre connects the big Claymore kick. Down goes Reigns, and tonight it is McIntyre who is the last one standing. A big Claymore kick on the champ, but Reigns stirring once more, but gets met with another Claymore kick. McIntyre stands tall. Will that be the scene we see at the pay-per-view? It'll be Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre in a steel cage match for the Universal Championship. That is going to be a huge one. We got another match to announce also here tonight. It's going to be a triple threat match. 3 men who have been tied up for the Intercontinental Championship. Ricochet will defend against Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. It's a big time matchup. We'll see who walks away with the Intercontinental Championship. But that is Clash at the Castle. That will be our next pay-per-view. I hope you guys are excited for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Speaking of episodes, next episode will be Monday Night Raw, and it is time to appreciate Kurt Angle. Will be back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Olympic gold medalist and Hall of Famer will be in attendance for Kurt Angle Appreciation Night. Hope you guys are ready for that one. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.